to our special broadcast, Connect with 54th IFFI. It's day 3 at the International Film Festival of India, and the day has seen many masterclasses, in-conversation sessions and screening of movies. So let's dive straight into the show and see what day 3 has to offer. We spoke to the producer and director of the opening film of the film festival, Catching Dust. They say they are humbled and honored to have their film at the opening of the film festival, and they also said that it's a prestigious film festival. What all went behind the making of the movie and how was the reception at here in India? Welcome to DD India. First of all, what was the idea behind the movie and how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel wonderful. We're very proud to be here. It's an honor. The reception has been incredible. The scope of the festival, the warmth of it, and just to have your film play it at a festival like this is really incredible. And to be the opening film is just the icing on the cake. But as far as the idea behind the film, I definitely would let our director and writer, Stuart, tell us that.
So John, talking more about production, India is also coming ahead in that particular field, particular direction, where lots of rebates are being given, lots of incentives are being announced. What do you see these measures will be, beneficial in the future or near future?
Oh, I mean, I think that the rebates and the tax incentives are a huge part of producing a film these days, and jurisdictions need to be competitive in that regard. And I think that the recent announcements, with the improvement in the Indian incentive, is going to be, really, really attractive to international co-productions to come.
Okay. So co-productions, he just spoke about co-production. You also into production. What are your plans now that your film has already come here at IFFI and you've seen some content of Indian cinema or Indian web series? What's your plan ahead?
So from the micro level for this film, our plan is to really bring this to a global audience. I think the themes are universal. I think that the performances are incredible. It's really a very beautiful film, and I think it's a film that will translate across the world, not just for a specific American or British audience, but for a much wider audience, and that's what we were hoping to achieve with this. And so that's sort of the immediate future plans. Talking about the incentives and also what your question alluded to, we would love to make films here as well, I think, in the future. I mean, it would be an incredible experience, and having experienced everything here around IFFI, we would definitely love to.
All right. So these people have already spoken about, how they would be planning, or if there are plans at all to make a movie here. But let's just come back to the basic question. What's the film about? And having your film screened here, and people were standing in huge queues for the opening movie. How would you describe the whole experience?
It's been really incredible. It's difficult to really fathom how big the festival is compared to other festivals. A lot of festivals take place in a vacuum. You could be in the city and have no idea there's a film festival taking place, but this one's different in that sense. You feel it everywhere you go. It's oozing out of every pore of the city, and it was incredible to see that. I said to the producer, we were saying it yesterday, you make a film in a vacuum in a way, you sit there and you work so hard with a lot of love and passion making the film. You don't know how people are going to respond to it. And to see people, they don't know me, and they're snaking around the block to see the film, is incredible.
All right. What's the movie about and what was the idea behind making it?
Yeah, so Catching Dust is a Texas noir set in West Texas, and it follows a couple who are hiding out in the desert from their criminal past when another couple gets stuck with them. And the story really develops in these two couples being stuck together and leads to someone's untimely murder. So it's a thriller. The idea, actually, I don't know, I'm one of these people that gets a lot of random ideas, and this was one that stuck in my head, this idea of a trailer in the middle of the desert, and then as a writer you try and fill in the blanks. Who lives there? Why might they live there? And it developed from that.
Lastly, we've already seen the kind of reception your movie has gotten. Now that the film festival has kick-started, have you shortlisted some of the movies, some of the Indian or regional movies that you all are going to be, having your mind on to see it, to watch it?
I have. I said this yesterday that I feel like it would be wrong for me to point out and single out ones. There's many here that I want to see, and also the selection here is very, very good. So I'm going to make sure I see as many as I can in the window that I'm here.
All right. Have you made any selection?
Same answer.
Yeah, no, I agree with what they said. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this was the producers and the director of the opening film at the International Film Festival of India, Catching Dust, and we'd like to understand more from them as well. And the Indian filmmakers or the emerging filmmakers would also like to understand more of the mantras and tips that they have. With camera person Sanjeev Sharma, this is Shama Mishra for DD India, Goa. Return of the Jungle has been featured at the 54th IFFI. We spoke to Vaibhav Kumaresh, the founder of Vaibhav Studios, which have made the film, and let's hear from him what's the story about and how he feels about having it here at IFFI.
इस फ्राइडे को फैंसी ड्रेस कंपटीशन है। तू पार्ट ले रहा है? इस बार द फाइनल जीतना है।
क्रिकेट फाइनल्स की ट्रॉफी कौन जीतेगा?
Return of the Jungle, and we have the director and producer Vaibhav Kumaresh with us. Return of the Jungle, something related to the jungle. What is the story about?
Yes, so the jungle is the old stories that we grew up, which is inspiring, which is like wisdom. And Return of the Jungle is that these stories are so relevant. Like as a child, I grew up on stories. Our folk stories or mythological stories are extremely relevant even today. So this is an excuse to retell these stories in a contemporary context. So that is the context for the Return of the Jungle. It's high time that the jungle returns, that the wisdom and the inspiration returns.
Okay. Since it's an animated movie, you know, usually the target audience are kids, but we did see that the queue and the kind of audience that were there were the adults and the older adults too. What would you say the message is coming out for which target audience?
See, for me, my first target audience is myself. You know, if I love it, then I'll give it to you. I'll show it to you. You know, if I'm proud of it, I'll show it to you. If not, I don't think children are not like third grade, you know, audience that जो अच्छी नहीं है उनको अच्छी लगी. They are much more mature than us. So if we are not proud of something, we should not be giving it to them. Especially giving some content to children, it's a very, very responsible task. So to inspire them in a way that they are even entertained is what we were planning to do in this. So I'm glad that, you know, the adult audience thoroughly enjoyed the screening. Neerja ma'am enjoyed it. So I think children will also enjoy it. But yes, you are very right. It's not specifically only for children. It is for us. Like I said, if we love it, we'll give it to our audience.
What would you say this particular platform is, you know, the significance of your movie coming here?
You know that an animation film, an average animation film by a Disney Pixar would take close to 5-6 years to produce. In our case, a very small team of artists, you know, has been working for many years because we were raising our own funds. तो वही टीम पैसे बना भी रही है और वही टीम पैसे उड़ा भी रही है. But it's such a moment of pride because the way we had thought हमें ऐसी film बनानी है, we've not compromised and we are happy with the way we've made it. We had to say certain things. I'm happy that the film says all that. And we are hearing all of that from the audience. So thankfully, we don't need to talk much. You know, the film is doing that.
Lastly, what would you say about the 54th edition of the film festival? Apart from this, have you made your list? I'll be watching this movie.
See, frankly, the premiere was so topmost on our minds. Apart from that, more than films, you know, making the film, I feel, is half the job. The other half is what we are here for, you know, because we've had very positive discussions with distributors, buyers. So we need to follow up on that now. And, you know, our team that was totally drowned in ensuring that the film comes here on time, now we can devote our time to selling it. You know, so that is a bigger thing, you know, because the audience needs to see this. And that is priority for us.
Okay. Thank you very much for talking to us. So that was Vaibhav Kumaresh talking about his animated movie, and like we've mentioned and he also mentioned that the target audience is not just children, it's all of us. If you like it, then only we'll move it forward. We also spoke to Munjal Shroff, who's the co-creator of KTV Bharat Hai Hum, an animated series which is available in several languages. It is a show about the unsung heroes who were a part of the freedom struggle. It is being open air screened at IFFI, and we spoke to him about how he feels being a part of the film festival.
Dear Sanskriti, story mode on.
चलो सुनाएं कथा पुरानी भारत भूमि के वीरों की, फिरंगियों को धूल चटाते खड़क ढाल और तीरों की। कोई उम्र की सीमा लांघ चला और किसी ने यौवन त्याग दिया। जब स्वाभिमान की बात उठी, जाने क्या क्या बलिदान किया। यहाँ हंस के फांसी चढ़ गए कई, सर काटे और कटवाए। इन आजादी की गलियों में कितनी गौरव गाथाएं हैं।
The coastal state of Goa is celebrating the 54th edition of International Film Festival of India, and each one of them can become a part of this film festival. How? There are open air screenings being conducted at many places, and this time around there are 3 places which are conducting these open air screenings. One show is Krish, Trish, Balti Boy, Bharat Hai Hum. We have the producer and co-creator Munjal Shroff with us. Sir, your series, animated series, is being screened at the open air screenings. What is it about? And we've also understood that it is made in several languages. So tell us something about it.
Right. So thank you so much for doing this. Krish Trish Balti Boy Bharat Hai Hum is a 52-part series celebrating the unsung heroes of the Indian freedom struggle. We are covering a period of almost 400 years, तो 1550 से 1947 तक हम ये पूरा पीरियड कवर कर रहे हैं, और हमारी कोशिश ये है कि इंडिया के हर एक हिस्से से जो फ्रीडम फाइटर्स थे, जो हमें नहीं मालूम, उनके बारे में हम ये सीरीज़ के माध्यम से बता रहे हैं. ऑलमोस्ट 30% द स्टोरीज जो हम कवर कर रहे हैं वो विमेन, दे आर विमेन हीरोज़, यू नो. सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज़ वी आर ensuring that, you know, we've all heard about Gandhi ji, we've all about Nehru ji, Bose, Subhash Chandra Bose ji है, you know, बट ऐसे काफ़ी हीरोज़ हैं जिनके बारे में हमें नहीं पता. जैसे कि हमारी सबसे पहली एपिसोड जो है, दैट्स ऑन रानी अब्बक्का देवी, जो इन 1550 शी फॉट द पोर्चुगीज़. 3 generations fought, and I think that's also a connect to Goa, you know. So Rani Abbakka Devi jo thi, her mother, she, and then even after her 2 daughters also fought the Portuguese. So it's such a fascinating story, right? हमारा जो second episode है तिलका मांझी है, जो एक tribal leader थे, जो he fought against the British. He was one of the first tribal leaders to fight against the British, and obviously he was ultimately hanged in Bhagalpur Square. Similarly, Peer Ali Khan, who was very much a part of the 1857 struggle. Again, we don't know about him. He was a bookseller in Patna, but he managed to gather guns and obviously, you know, led a armed resistance against the British. You know, he was tortured by the British, but he never gave up the names of the people who were part of it, you know. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी, you know, there are so many such amazing stories of valor. And I think through our research, we found amazing stories. I mean, we are currently doing 52 episodes, but I think there are more than 150, 200 such stories, and we are still continuing our research. So, it's like a massive treasure trove of stories. And I think our children, and not just children, I think what's amazing with this show is that even the adults are enjoying it. You know, and talking about the distribution, I think the series has had an amazing distribution model. So what we've done is we have partnered with Netflix and Amazon. You know, they are both our streaming platforms. So for the first time in the world, a series has premiered globally on Netflix and Amazon simultaneously. So I think that again is unprecedented. I'm not sure when was the last time an Indian animated show made it to the top 10 on Netflix. So I think we are super proud and we are extremely grateful to the Ministry of I&B, who are our co-producers.
So you mentioned everything that I wanted to ask, but yes, we again going to ask you one last question. That your movies, your web series, animation series is being showcased to everybody over here in Goa, and being part of an open air screening, that means you can connect. And since your stories are such that it'll generate so much interest, what's the kind of reaction, feedback that you're getting, and what's the plan ahead? More of open air screenings, what?
Yeah, I think, here, obviously, we wanted to make sure that the series is accessible to children. So this is a great way for children to watch it. We now have, obviously, Netflix, Amazon, and obviously Doordarshan. It's unprecedented again. The show has been launched on all 28 channels of Doordarshan. We are just humbled by the support to this series by the government. We are also, our series is also going to be shown as a part of the Viksit Bharat campaign. So across 250,000 villages, children will get to see this, because all the vans that are going into these villages, they will get to see the show. So again, it's huge. I don't think any animation show has had this level of grassroots penetration. So I think all this is eventually very good, and I think as creators for Tilak Shetty, my partner, and me and my entire team at Graffiti Studio, we are immensely proud, and I think we are very, very humbled by the love and support by the industry, by the people in the ministry, and the audience. It's truly humbling, and I think this is definitely motivating us to do more, and I think we are giving it our best.
All right. You are humbled. We are thankful to you for bringing out such stories. And when we're talking about such stories, one thrust of this particular government is bringing out the unsung heroes, and through many initiatives, be it the freedom fighters, be it the Padma awardees. That's one thing where the government is bringing out, identifying the unsung heroes, and this particular series is also doing the same thing. With camera person Sanjeev Sharma, this is Shama Mishra for DD India, Goa. Filmmaker Umesh Shukla, who is known for his films like Oh My God, 102 Not Out, and several other, conducted a masterclass here at IFFI. We spoke to him about how he feels about filmmaking, and let's also get to know from him what tips and mantras he has given to the emerging filmmakers. Director Umesh Shukla is here with us. You've taken a wonderful masterclass, and we did hear a lot of after questions that was put across. What techniques did you all, did you tell the new upcoming filmmakers, and how was your masterclass?
Yeah, basically it was about comparison of theater and film. So there are two different crafts, When I do theater, I mean stage. Stage is a different choreography, and film is a different choreography. Because in theater, there's a suspension of disbelief. Like people believe what we say immediately, like that. Where in film, we have to show a lot of things. We have to be more logical. Yeah, so that craft I was discussing with students, and they're really sharp and good students. Yeah.
Okay. We heard, a lot of nuances coming out from your famous movies, and one of them is the recent movie, and also what we saw, the prequel of it, 15 years, almost 10 years back. So how was that movie and experience? Because we also heard that there were threats coming across to you. So tell us little that experience.
Threats are all part and parcel of life. See, as a filmmaker, not just as a filmmaker, as a human being, I feel responsible for what I say. So I stand by what I say, and if I feel that I'm right, then I don't mind saying it. So that's it.
Okay. So films like Oh My God 2, All Is Well, 102 Not Out, these all movies are, somewhere very closely associated to our society. How do you see cinema when we say cinema is a reflection of our society, or society learns from our cinema? How would you explain the correlation?
It's a very strong correlation. I always feel that see, I just don't make film just for the sake of making it, or just sake of making money, or just for the sake of creating any controversy. I just make it because I feel that with the entertainment, we should, I always feel that I should come up with something more than just the entertainment. I feel that it's my responsibility to give at least something which stays in people's mind. Yeah.
Coming back to our IFFI, this is the 54th edition, and as we say every year that this is bigger than the last year. How do you see IFFI, and especially the part where the master classes in sessions happen? How do you see that part?
I really agree with the statement that every year it's improving, because this time I'm in a grand jury also, and I've seen such a brilliant short films. Amazing films I have seen, and I really see that today's new generation, they are coming up with really good craft and good stories.
Okay. So lastly, you mentioned about the young generation. We also have Creative Minds of Tomorrow. This is the 3rd edition. How do you see those talent coming up, and especially at a time where the content quality of Indian cinema or Indian series is actually now a global something which a global level or a standard would approve. So how do you see that?
Yes, it is improving, and because of this pandemic, I feel that we are exposed to so many content. So even the ideas are like, we never thought that this type of film also will be coming. And that's what I'm really surprised and I'm amazed. And I really feel that, of course, it's a right time for filmmakers to really come up with the good content.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us. So that was director Umesh Shukla, and explaining all about how he makes films, what goes back in the mind when he makes films, and also the talent that we are having today and the movie quality, cinema quality that we are having today is improving day by day. This is Shama Mishra for DD India, Panji, Goa. Renowned actor Manoj Joshi, who is known for his performances both on stage and in film, is a member of jury for the 75 Creative Minds of Tomorrow, the 48-hour filmmaking challenge. We spoke to him and we got to know what he's looking forward to in this particular competition. The 48-hour film challenge is already kick-started, and we have one of the jury members. Sir, welcome to DD India. Last time it was 53 hours, and this time around it is 48 hours. What are you looking forward to when you're going to judge all these people, judge the young talent? What will you be, finding for that one thing?
All are the talented people, who 75 minds, whether they are directors. Of course, I'm for this acting purpose, I'm the jury. So I think all of them are very talented, and definitely their future is bright. And इसमें बहुत सारी रसाकसी भी होगी, बहुत आनंद आएगा. So I'm going to watch them, and definitely मज़ा आएगा. वो तो 48 hours के बाद ही बोल सकूँगा. But all the best to them.
So you mentioned about, there'll be talent coming in from all across the country, and this has been an aim, and this has been an initiative to find out that talent, from remote areas, from rural areas. You mentioned about storytelling as well. At a time when everyone has a phone and everyone can access YouTube, what kind of quality are we going to produce, and what are we getting into when you're talking about filmmaking?
I'll tell you what, because the talent which is coming from each and every corner of India, they will tell their mitti ka story, their own story. They are not corrupt. They are not कि इसका ये ले लूँ, इसका ये, ऐसा नहीं है. वो original हैं, वो fresh हैं. And that freshness will be the great thing, वो जो नई ऊर्जा है या नया चिंतन है उनका अपने मिट्टी को लेके, तो I think that will be the great thing.
All right. Thank you very much. So yes, Joshi sir has enhanced one particular point over here, that they will be churning out their mitti ka story, the story which will be fresh and which will be untold. Gandhi Talks, starring Vijay Sethupathi and Aditi Rao Hayadri, is a silent film to be screened at the ongoing 54th edition of IFFI. The cast and crew of the film interacted with the media and said more about the film. Let's get to know more.
Best part of it was as the journey went along and the talent that got attached to it with Mr. Vijay Sethupathi and Arvind Swamy and Aditi Rao Hayadri and Siddharth Jadhav on the acting side. That itself gave us a lot of confidence. And then when Mr. Rahman came on board as the as literally the soul of the movie.
This character protagonist is for us everybody. Every day we are fighting for between the justice and reality. That's what happening in his mind, and what is his realization. That's the film. So first he reacted for the Gandhi in notes, then he reacted for the Gandhi from inside, and that's what this film is. Every time, whenever I'm standing in front of the camera, it's very difficult, sir. It's like we're just expecting this art form to bless us to convince my audience. That's what I have, nothing else to say. Generally, we discuss with the director and what he wants and how he wanted to execute the film. So everything is based on his choice. I didn't choose the film because it's a silence. I didn't choose the film because I'm going to do some experiment. I didn't choose the film because I'm going to do something new. I like the script, I like the film, and I believed in the director that he can execute the film. If you like the film, then whether it's a silence film or it's any language film, so I hope everybody almost watched Apocalypse also, but nobody can understand any of the word, but still we love the film. So what emotions and what connections we are making through films, that's what's most important. And that's what we are trying. I never know whether I will achieve in my lifetime, but every film, every shot, I'm just trying.
That's all we had in our today's show, Connect with 54th IFFI. We will be back tomorrow with more happenings and highlights from day 4 of IFFI. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.